Against Me ripped out? Find out as we review Laura Jane Grace's 4th studio album. The album kicks off with some Trey Cool-ass drums right in the beginning before it opens to that strident and jangly guitar that lets you know right away whose music this is. Lyrics focus on things better left unlearned and are filled with surprisingly positive life lessons in the words. And of course, YouTube wants me to advise that while the phrase "hole in my head" is in popular vernacular, very few people do actually need them, and you should never attempt to give yourself one unless absolutely medically necessary, or whether that be in an emergency or a John Kramer trap. Remember "bird" is the word being sung by Peter on Family Guy? I'm Not a Cop starts like that, but with an alternative instrumentation that's warm like 1996 music. And some comedic referencing to Breaking Bad, the greatest show on television. If you disagree, you're wrong. For the second time in this freaking album review, I'm getting a YouTube representative asking that I give warning that undercover cops don't have to tell you that they are undercover cops. If you think so, you're an idiot, and you probably deserve that. You deserve going to jail. And did you know, if the undercover cops get you, you can't get bailed out, that's pretty rough. Let's take a life lesson from Green Day's Warning and not listen to any more of these warnings from YouTube unless we have to, fuckers. Laura Jane Grace and an acoustic guitar. Laura Jane Grace and an acoustic guitar are built to make a song called Dysphoria Hoodie, which takes me back to high school in the late 90s, early 2000s, or the aughts, where I wrapped drawstrings are tied around my head and pulled sleeves over hands that longed to be held and never were. Damn. Call-in responses are utilized over AC/DC guitars on Birds Talk 2, and while this isn't my favorite melody, there's an earworm in here that could be a fan favorite or even a career-defining moment if the planets and stars align somehow. If it assaults the fandom just right, in a good way. Maybe, and you know what? I've kind of flipped my opinion of Birds Talk 2. It was one of my least favorites. Now it's kind of growing on me. Wow, I am torn like Natalie Imbruglia. I am one piece of cloth about the next tune from Laura. You see, there's one type of song that can never be wrong, and that's a song about loving music. It's the best kind of music that there is. Punk rock in basements carries the proud tradition of Corvette Summer, Heart Songs, Homage by Alien Ant Farm. Hobby rock tumbling, anyone? No? Probably not. Maybe. Rock fans? I don't know. I got really upset because while I was trying to think of songs that paid homage to rock and roll or the love of music, I went to listen to Homage by Alien Ant Farm, and I discovered that entire album is wiped from the internet. The only thing I could find is some bed sheets with the album cover. How random is that? Has that ever happened to you? It's just no streaming services, no CDs available? Oh God, how I hear it! Woo! Gosh, poop it. Laura Jane Grace has broken my heart. Yet again. Punk rock in basements is pure 5 out of 5 goodness with a blend of acoustic and electric that tickles my heart. And we will talk a little bit about the composition of this record here in just a little bit, after we get a little bit freaky in the basement with Laura and friends. The rest of the album is mostly acoustic, and if you go through the track list and give yourself anxiety about which songs have drums or claps or percussions or cowbells, is that a bass? Is it just more guitar? No one can tell! If you drive yourself insane tonight, it's not that far away, and I'm not a crash. Wait, what are we doing? Hole in My Head features 5 acoustic guitar tracks, just vocals and acoustic guitars, and 5 full instrumentation in varying degrees of musical prowess that I will never be. I suck at guitar. It's got that trademark, authentic Laura Jane Grace feeling that can't be replaced by a single thing in this world. And the words and music really create its own planet in a very strange universe that we all exist in. Mercenaries is a side B highlight, but when the jewels just keep coming like they do on this record, if your punk rock life only leaves you 6 minutes and 51 seconds left to live, please choose punk rock in basements, mercenaries, and hard feelings. I did just flip you off there. Seriously, those 3 songs are some of the best music I've heard in 2024. And on this 4 out of 5 Laura Jane Grace album called Hole in My Head, and while I do miss the rip-roaring electricity of Against Me every day of my life, yes, Laura Jane Grace does keep the energy flowing through the love of music with this beautiful album, Hole in My Head.